In this video, we're going to talk about phase changes. Let's start with a little bit of review. Thermal energy is the energy due to moving or vibrating particles. On your heat and temperature foldable, write the definition of temperature. Temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the particles in a substance. We will come back to that foldable in a few minutes, so let's just move along. Both of these definitions have talked about particles. We know that all matter is made of particles. Kinetic molecular theory tells me about the motion of these particles. It states that all particles in all forms of matter are in constant motion. In solids, the particles vibrate around fixed point as shown in this diagram. Make sure you sketch this diagram. In liquids, the particles are free to flow within the confines of the liquid. Now, in gases, the particles are in constant, random, rapid motion. Now go back to your heat and temperature foldable. And let's talk about heat. Heat is the transfer of thermal energy. We've already talked about thermal energy transfer, and that would be conduction, convection, and radiation. Make sure you write this under your foldable flap. Also on the foldable, make sure you note that heat transfer is always from an object with a higher temperature to an object with a lower temperature. Now let's talk about phase changes. You've seen this diagram before, but let's get a little more specific with it. In this first region is where we would have a solid. In the second positively sloping region, we would have a liquid. And in the third, we would have a gas. So if I'm adding thermal energy and I'm going from a solid to a liquid, that would be the melting process. If I'm going from a liquid to a gas, that would be boiling or vaporizing. If I remove thermal energy, going from a gas to a liquid would be called condensing. Going from a liquid to a solid would be freezing. Notice that during these phase changes, the temperature does not change. So what is happening with all of that thermal energy? Well, during the melting or boiling process, the thermal energy added is used to break the bonds that hold the particles together. During freezing or condensing, the thermal energy removed is forming bonds to bring the particles back together.